And welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on this Monday, August 26th. I am the host for today's program, Paul Demain, and many of the stories right here can also be found in our publication, News from Indian Country, or online at indiancountrynews.com. And here are some of the news stories for the day. The U.S. Bureau of Indian Affairs has approved a tribe's plan to build a casino at a former dog racing track near the Wisconsin-Illinois border. According to a tribal spokesman, the Menominee Nation has been seeking permission for years to build a casino at a former Dairyland Greyhound Park, which has been closed since December of 2009. The project has met strong opposition from the Forest County Potawatomi tribe, which owns an off-reservation casino about 40 miles north in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Menominee tribal leaders defended their Kenosha casino proposal from what they expect to be a negative campaign. In a statement, Jeff Crawford, Forest County Potawatomi Community Attorney General, said the tribe remains opposed to the Kenosha casino proposal. Governor Walker of the state of Wisconsin issued a statement saying his administration will move forward with a 60-day comment period for the tribes. A long-awaited revised environmental review of a proposed copper nickel mine in northeastern Minnesota will be released November 22nd, the State Department of Natural Resources said. The proposed Polymet mine, which will be the first copper nickel mine in the area, the 1,800-page environmental impact statement, a detailed plan for how the mine will operate in compliance with state and federal environmental regulations, has been years in the making. Polymet has proposed a $600 million open-pit mine near Babbitt, Minnesota, and a processing center at the old LTV taconite mine near or north of Hoyt Lakes. The project has been substantially reworked since the original version of the statement in 2009 to meet concerns of regulatory agencies and others about long-term implications of emissions, especially potential acid runoff from the copper-bearing rock when it's exposed to water and air. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency rejected the original environmental impact statement in 2010 as inadequate. The Hopi tribe is blasting the idea of potential drilling near Chaco Cultural National Historic Park. The Farmington Daily Times reports that the Hopi tribe has submitted critical comments to the Bureau of Land Management about the possibility of drilling by the World Heritage Site. Oil and gas firms have nominated 38 oil and gas leases totaling 19,103 acres for a January lease sale. The BLM is evaluating the parcels for the lease sale, and it is not yet clear which parcels will be included or if some of it will be withdrawn. One of the parcels is less than a quarter of a mile from the park's boundary. The tribe in Arizona traces some of its clans to the ancestral Puebloans who inhabited areas in and around the park many, many years ago. An Indian group is upset that 2 South Dakota counties named in a voting rights lawsuit are seeking court costs against 25 Oglala Sioux tribal members. The lawsuit accused Shannon County of violating voting rights by failing to provide early balloting and an early registration satellite office. Fall River County, which administers elections for Shannon County, was also named in the lawsuit. A federal judge dismissed the complaint after the state agreed to provide early voting satellite offices in Shannon and Todd counties. The counties then filed for cost of more than $6,000. Brett Healy, spokesman for the Indian voting rights group For Directions, tells the Argus Leader the move is meant to prevent future lawsuits from members. A lawyer for the county say recovering costs is common in federal lawsuits. 2 decades after it was proposed and 7 years after the start of construction, the $170 million American Indian Cultural Center and Museum is still an unfinished dream. The sprawling museum in Oklahoma's capital city was proposed to pay homage to the state's 39 federally recognized tribes, but it's only half finished and far short of the money needed for completion. A total of $40 million in private donations has been raised to complete the project, but the state legislature has balked at passing a bill to provide $40 million more in matching funds. When finished, the Cultural Center and Museum will feature material from each Oklahoma tribe recognized by the federal government and items from the National Museum of the American Indian in Washington and other tribal museums around the country. The concerns of Indigenous people in the North were discussed in an Inuit Circumpolar Council meeting in Kotzebue, Alaska. Members from Russia, Greenland, and Canada met with Alaska members last week, according to the Alaskan Public Radio Network. ICC Alaska President Jim Stott said the regional groups have grown and are much more capable of addressing concerns for the people they represent. The ICC is a member of the 8-Nation Arctic Council, and Stott says they are increasingly being heard on such issues like climate change, subsistence, and oil and gas development. The city of Fairbanks, Alaska is preparing for the return of the Alaska Federation of Natives Convention. Fairbanks was awarded this year's convention, which typically draws nearly 5,000 participants. It's been held in Anchorage the last 2 years. This year's convention will be at the Carlson Center from October 24th through the 26th. Preceding the convention will be the Elders and Youth Conference, scheduled October 21st through the 23rd, according to the Alaska Journal of Commerce. The convention typically brings about $4 million in economic impact to the host city. And that's going to be another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. We want to say thank you for joining with us and come back again soon.